red dots on pistols. Everybody's hearing about it. If you don't have one yet, you're probably considering it. So what I've got here today is an M&P compact. It's got the red dot on top. This is the 2.0, and it does have suppressor height sights, or you know, taller sights, if you will. So I wanted to talk about a few things with a red dot. Why a red dot on pistol? Well, it's faster and can be more accurate, because it can be more accurate because you can make the dot is a smaller aiming point than having iron sights. So at distance, at smaller targets, those types of things, it can be helpful. And then the other thing is why it's faster is you don't have to line up anything. You don't have to line up your rear sight and your front sight and all that stuff. Just dot on target, pull trigger. That being said, with something like this, where you can see the iron sights through the window of the optic, a lot of people will try to line it all up. Don't do that. It's slower, okay? If you've got the red dot, just use the red dot. Another tip for you is the red dot in the window, wherever the red dot is on target, that's where the bullet's gonna go if it's sighted in. So let me just show you a little bit. Okay, red dot's on target. You don't have to have the red dot in the middle of the window. So now the red dot is at the very top of the window. It's almost, I can't even see it anymore, okay? It's still on target. Now it's at the bottom of the window. I can almost barely even see it. Still on target. Far right. Yeah, it hit the target, it's a little right, but you're still there. And then far left, okay, that shot's a little left, but it's still on target. So you don't have to have the dot perfectly in the center of the window. Don't worry about that. Again, that'll just slow you down. Now, a question people will say is, what about if the red dot goes down? I know. The good thing is, and the reason why red dots on pistols have become so popular is they've become smaller and they've become more durable, more dependable. Red dots on pistols have been around for decades, but they really weren't perfect for carry guns. And that's what we're talking about today, is carry guns. So what happens if the red dot goes down? Well, let's talk about that. Obviously on this gun, you can actually just use the iron sights. Good to go, love it. But depending on what gun you have and the configuration, you may not be able to see your iron sights through the window of the optic. And I know on some guns, when you put the red dot on, you actually lose the rear sight. I like that you don't on this gun, but that is the case on some guns. So let's turn off the dot and let's talk about this. Now, for these purposes, we're talking about self-defense, concealed carry, that kind of thing. And we're also talking about emergency distances. So this target is about, I don't know, 10 feet, 12 feet, something like that. So this is emergency distance. If you were way back at 25 yards and the red dot went down, just run. You know, that's not an emergency distance. You have other options at that point. But the dot is not on. I'm not going to use the irons, but we're just gonna put it out there like a ghost ring, pull the trigger, and you can still get hits. Now, you gotta experiment with your gun and your optic to kind of figure out, okay, what if I don't have that dot? And what I'm gonna do is I'm lining up the top of the optic, this part, with the shoulders on this particular target, okay? Still getting hits. Even if I was to go up and line this up with the top of the head, you're still getting hits. So you just have to experiment and figure it out for yourself. You know, the thing is, don't panic. If that was to happen and you're at this distance and it's an emergency life or death situation, you just need to get shots on target. You know, muscle memory kicks in at that point, I think. So just a few things to work on and think about for red dots on pistols. There's a reason why so many people are going to them. They work great.